What is up, guys? Welcome to a new video. This is not normally something I do. I bash Riot a fair amount on the channel, but today is actually going to be giving them some credit. Hopefully you'll find this interesting. At least let me know what you think about it, because some of you guys will be very anti-Riot. I'm sure some of you will actually agree with me, maybe, but let's get started. The first thing is I am not pro Riot. I am not anti-Riot either. I think they make mistakes and they do good stuff. I actually have a lot of friends in Riot, but that doesn't prevent me bashing them. The best example is the skins team. So you know how I bash them quite a lot, saying that basically Riot manipulate the balance of the game to make more money out of these legendary skins like the Ashe one, the Jinx one, for example, even Championship Riven. I actually have friends in the skin team and it's not something against them personally. I don't want to be censored though, so I put that to the side and then I just say what I actually think. In Season 6, there were a lot of fuck-ups, excuse my French. There are a ton of things that I think Riot dropped the ball on. The first one is the marksman rework at the very start of the season, right? Kog'Maw is probably the biggest one that was really not what they intended to be. They also made this new kind of class of AD carry with Graves, like a bruiser AD carry, right? When they reworked him, which I'm forever going to be salty about because I love Graves, but that whole thing made a problem with the items, because how do you balance for a bruiser like Graves and you balance for normal AD carries? Kog'Maw is one of those ones they actually had to revert because they made the perfect script champion, so scripters just abused him like 24/7. Malzahar with the mage update was probably another one where they made him completely broken. Putting that passive on him was just a crazy idea. I don't know what they expected. Dynamic Q has to be the big one, right? That's probably what you guys thought this video was about, and in part it is about that, I guess. That is one of the biggest things that Riot have probably messed up in the time I've actually played League. In the 5 years I played, that was probably the biggest mistake. It wasn't so much that the actual dynamic Q came into the game, it was more how they handled it. They said solo Q was coming back, then maybe it's coming back, and then finally they said no, it's not. The whole problem with this is they tried to fix something that wasn't broken, and then when we didn't like it, they just said tough basically, and you're stuck with this how it is now. They didn't really listen to the player base, and we are the ones who make the game. Like, the community around League is what makes it great. I'm not going to go into dynamic Q too much now because we're going to go into it a bit later, but another thing that came with this, I guess, was the boosting. Boosting got out of control. People were being boosted everywhere. There were so many people doing it, especially higher up the ladder as well, and this is something that Riot eventually did fix, which is good. Role selector was one of those things that was a really cool idea, but actually in practice didn't work at all because the queue times were insane, and also like getting a solo player versus a pre-made team, right? That sucked. The sandbox announcement saying that it wasn't going to come, the replays as well was probably dealt with the worst way possible. Like, the communication there was so bad. They basically said, we don't want to do it anymore. I know you guys want it, but tough, because we're the ones making the game and you're going to have to live with it. That's probably the dumbest way of explaining something. And also the chromas as well. That was something that everybody was really hyped for, and then when Riot delivered, they didn't actually deliver what we wanted, I guess. Like, now it's getting much better though. Finally, as well, esports stuff I think was a kind of cock up. Like, we had banned teams for just no apparent reason. There was no communication. It wasn't really what esport fans wanted anymore. That is the kind of like bad stuff I think about Season 6, and there is a lot of it. You can see, like, I think Riot really dropped the ball, but the important thing and why I think League is going to last like for a long time is because they fixed it. They actually listened to a lot of what we were saying. They've gone back on stuff and they've admitted they're wrong, and I think that's all you can do as a company, is you learn from your mistakes and you move forward. One of the biggest reasons I actually think League is going to last a long time now is because this scared Riot shitless. Like, I honestly believe Riot had a real panic and thought, oh my god, have we killed League? It was one of the things I thought at the time. I was like, they are making bad decision after bad decision after bad decision, and they are driving players away. Maybe League has peaked now and this is where it goes downhill, a lot like WoW. There are lots of different reasons people say World of Warcraft has slowly declined and stuff, but I honestly think it was Blizzard's decisions that ultimately led people away, and that was kind of where Riot was going. The good thing is, since then we've actually had a much different game, and in my opinion the end of this season has been one of the most enjoyable experiences that I've had playing League. This is where dynamic Q comes back in, right? This is the big one recently. They're now going to have solo Q and dynamic Q. Now, this will cater to everyone. Will it work? I have no idea, but at least they're going to try. The important bit as well is, if it does not actually work, the way the announcement reads is dynamic Q is going to be the Q to go. They will turn that into rank 5s basically, and solo duo Q will be the one for solo Q. A lot of people actually skipped over that fact, like they didn't really read it in its entirety, I guess, but that to me is a really big deal, because Riot want dynamic Q, right? But we want solo Q as a community. I think a lot of people do anyway, so they're actually going with what we want rather than what they want. Replays as well. I never thought I'd see the day where Riot actually released replays. Like, I have no idea what happened there. They said they weren't going to do it, and then suddenly they turned around and they are giving that to us. This is something we've been asking for so long. It will help promote content within the community as well, and I think this is actually going to be the start of something really cool. One of the most underrated things this season that Riot has done really well is the rune system. Like, they've turned in the tier 2 runes for 1 IP now, so you can buy them for 1 IP and you can have a basic set of runes. This is what I use on my second account because I don't have the IP to really purchase like tier 3 runes. I still use some tier 2 and they still do fine. I still think the rune system is slightly outdated. I don't really see the point of it costing IP and stuff, but if they're going to do it that way, at least people have an option now for tier 2 runes, and I think that's really good. In my opinion, there's been better balance as well since the like latter half of the season. I guess the first half of the season was really bad. When I started playing season 6, I kind of thought to myself, do I even want to play this game anymore? It's not fun. There are certain champions who are just completely broken and it's very boring. Since then, they've actually done a good job of balancing stuff, I think. Like, there are a lot of different variety and picks, which is really good, except maybe a few things like with the skins and stuff, like with that balance, which I don't approve of. The rest of it has been really good and it's become way more open to different picks. You can pick whatever you like and at least you stand a chance of winning. Part of this is because they're fixing issues now and they're not just patching them up. Like, the updates are better, we're getting better nerfs like tailored to things that are actually like a problem, I guess. Kalista, Talia, Azir are probably things that they didn't deal with very well, but the rest of the nerfs I think have kept it relatively even across the board. They're also talking about directions of reworks, right? We don't really have these surprises anymore because we already know kind of what to expect, like the pink wards, or like, you know how I do these news videos now? That wouldn't be possible a couple of seasons ago. Their communication is so much better after this kind of like mess up, and I think this is really where they've learned that if they talk to us, if they talk to the player base and tell us what they want to do, then we're actually going to be way more receptive with it. I don't really keep up massively with esports and stuff, so I can't really go too much into that, but at least they've even said recently they're going to put money to the prize pool from icons as well, which is a step in the right direction. My point is, Riot have actually done a lot of really good stuff recently, and honestly, I think this is why a league is going to last a long time, because Riot are learning. They're not stubborn as a company at all. They're not just like, here you go, this is what we're going to give you, and if you don't like it, well, tough, you can leave. They actually want you guys to stay. I know that sounds really obvious, but like, a lot of companies are not like that. They will take the direction of the game that they want to take rather than the direction that the player base wants. Riot is really good at kind of threading this line, right? They do what they want to do, but they also give us what we want at the same time, and this is why I think League hasn't even peaked yet. I think League is going to continue to grow. I'm having just as much fun now in season 6 as I was like a couple of years ago, and I think that's the same for a lot of people. Plus, new players are coming in and getting hooked as well. If Riot continues to make really good decisions, I don't have any reason why I think League is going to die out, and that's actually kind of exciting to me. Imagine what League is going to be like in a couple of years. This was a bit of a rant video, kind of like a vlog, I guess. Actually, you probably could have minimized this and done whatever you wanted to, put your own music on or something, but I just wanted to actually give Riot some credit and say, yes, they messed up, but look at all this stuff that they've done right. I don't really do that enough. I don't think this video is going to get any views, to be honest, but thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video anyway, and for now, I'll leave you with the robots.